5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello and welcome everyone to Truth, Beer, and Podsequences.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Julia. Yay, indeed. This is a podcast where my co-host and I listen to and watch all the Cincinnati-based craft beer media and podcasts from the previous week, and we get together to podcast hosts, and today we are back at Higher Gravity Summit Park. Thank you, Higher Gravity, for being a gracious podcast host. Now, we get together at a podcast host and give our version of the truth of how those podcasts went, and hopefully there aren't too many consequences from the hosts of the other podcasts and media. My name is Marco. I'm a taproom manager here locally. I did brew beer in the Cincinnati area for several years, and that other voice you heard belongs to the best co-host in Podcast Landia.
I'm Julia. I drink all of the craft beer in the Cincinnati area, and I always enjoyed the beers that Marco brewed when that was one of the things he was doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The thoughts and opinions on this podcast are ours and ours alone. They do not reflect any entity which we may be affiliated with, such as full-time jobs, part-time jobs, second, third jobs. Higher Gravity. If you want to get at us, we'll tell you how at the end of the pod.
If I remember, I don't think I've done the outro
we
properly.
haven't. We haven't, but that's
It's
fine.
been chaos and it's been wonderful.
Read the show notes.
Yeah.
Julia works hard on the show notes. And at some point, we may win an award for our show notes. You never know.
Oh, my God, that'd be awesome.
You never know. So anyways, we are not like those fake-ass podcasts out there. We actually have beer, or we drink something. It doesn't always have to be beer. It doesn't always have to be alcohol. It can be wine. It can be spirits. It can be, seltzers, lattes.
Coffee,
Could be all kinds of different things. But today, we both are having a beer. Julia, what you drinking?
I am drinking one of the best beers that Westside Brewing makes, Gill, the German-Irish lager.
All right.
Love it so much. I love Gill season almost as much as I love beer vent season.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that you're known for, Julia, is for your daily musings during beer vent.
It's true. It's true.
I am also having Gill.
Excellent.
I don't think I like it or love it as much as you do, but I do think it is really fantastic.
It's a solid beer.
For sure.
I never get it and go, I kind of wish I would have picked something else. Like, there's never any buyer's remorse at all with this beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, before we get into the content, so the sad news.
Yeah.
You all have heard about my love of watching Leon the Lobster on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It has been 3.5, almost 4 years worth of absolutely amazing videos on, I think it's Brady Brantwood. I always get his name kind of wrong because it's a lot of B's between his first name and his last name. But he does some really great videos. His cinematography is fantastic. He does a lot of things with a lot of different fish tanks and all that. But his focus for the last few years has been Leon the Lobster, who he rescued from a supermarket, just the lobster tank, as kind of an experiment, saying, can you raise a supermarket lobster as a pet? He had no idea how it was going to go. He knew how to run a very clean, very proper aquarium. He knew what the, salinity, all that was supposed to be. So he goes, let's give this a try. If nothing else, this lobster will get fed incredibly well up until, for a week or whatever, if it just doesn't go very well.
Right.
Lasted years, and unfortunately a week ago there was a video that was posted that said, R.I.P. Leon the Lobster.
Oh, no.
He did not make it through his latest molt, but a lot of lessons were learned, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Brady is going to maybe try again with another lobster, but...
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of feel like maybe it might be too soon.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I'm certainly not saying I hope that next week and now there's another one, but
another one.
It was just a very, very well done series, and Leon was very endearing, and I think that I don't know if you or Gnome ever actually watched any of them, but you guys understood my just endearment with Leon. So so I want to raise a glass and have a cheers to Leon the Lobster. Leon would have wanted us to drink and celebrate and not to be sad.
For sure. And with a gill, I mean, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Did Leon have gills?
Yeah, he had skills.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, that is my completely unrelated beer news. An episode of a show that really has absolutely nothing to do with beer at all, for the most part, that I'm going to mention because, I was in when they did a live stream, and so I'm going to shout them out because they shouted us out. Tone, who does Banter and Babbler, he's part of the Banter and Babble crew. He did another episode of Let's Set the Tone with Josh of Half-Ass Beer Review this weekend.
Nice.
They talked about Tone's recent trip to Disney and his kind of loves and hates and all that. So it was
World or land?
The one in Florida. So World.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I found out I was this year old when I found out that Disney World has the OR for Orlando, and Disneyland has the LA for LA, California. And I'm like, holy crap, that's brilliant. So it was, Tone's been there before, but they just kind of went over a whole bunch of that, and then they ended the episode. It was like a 3.5 hour long live stream. It was amazing. And they ended with talking about... they do.
Yeah.
And it's a great conversation. They ended the stream with justifying how Waterworld is one of the best cinematic moments of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And they made some pretty good points.
It's a bold statement there.
But during it, because, I'm chiming in, just like I do for the weekly pint, kind of chat and, put in my 2 cents where they seem to fit
Dos
in.
centavos.
Exactly. After their first break that they took, actually they only took one break in 3.5 hours, which is better than we do. And they're on video too, so for us it's easy. For them it's kind of like having a splash screen up, so that's like,
splash.
We'll be right back. They came back and they opened up some dicks.
Hell yeah.
They shared a bag of dicks. It was fantastic. They shouted their love of dicks to everything. They shouted us out. They said, we were kind of introduced to these chips by, Julia and Marco for Truth Beer Pod.
Nice.
And, they said that, they don't really know a lot about Cincinnati beer, but we have a very entertaining podcast, and we are good at kind of poking fun at people and making fun of people and just having a good time doing it. So,
thank you.
I mean, I feel bad with the, hey, we make fun of people, but we're not, to me, the way that my intent is, it's never to make fun of. It's never a malicious way. It's we are having fun with what people are saying. I mean, basically, it's kind of like the third grade thing. Like, if they make fun of you, they like you kind of thing.
I definitely.
It's more on that level.
I definitely feel that way. That if we toss the jokes around, it's because really once you get past the joke, it's because we really like and care about whatever it is, whether it's the people or the content or, the product or the place
Absolutely.
Or whatever it may be. And that's kind of the secret behind the sauce, for that,
Yes.
we could choose just not to talk about you.
Right.
And, but I mean, that's kind of how we, in our own way show that slight affection.
Yes.
Or quite heavy affection, depending on, what it is and what's going on. But that's always been the thing, is that once you get in and understand, at first you may think we're telling some brewery to F off with their black IPA, but what you really don't know is we really love that brewery. And, if you want to make a black IPA, you do it. And, if I was there, I'd have one and I'd tell you, that it was great. So even though
I'm not sure if I believe that entirely, but
to their face, I would tell them it was great. Yeah. Come on, Julia.
Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had, while you're pouring it, on the ground behind you.
Yeah.
But
I tell you what, nobody ever makes a hazy Pilsner. That's amazing.
It's fantastic. Oh my God. No, but it has been such fun to get to know Josh and Tony, and even Chris. I don't follow a lot of what he does. He does Seven Dungeons, Seven Dragons. I'm so sorry, Chris. I always get it wrong, and I mean to do better, but it was great meeting them at Sonder. It is awesome seeing what they're all doing with their own formats and their own content.
Yeah.
So check out Banter and Babble, check out Half-Ass Beer Review, and check out Seven Dungeons and or Dragons. They're always linked at the end of the Half-Ass Beer Review videos. So use Josh's content for the actual stuff because I don't know what I'm doing because I didn't write it down. I can, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. That's the stuff.
All right.
All right, let's get on to some of the Cincinnati-based stuff. Adam Makes Beer put out another video.
He did.
His the industry interview.
Yeah.
Again, way over my head. I play it, but it doesn't take all my focus, and I'm just being honest because it is just so much technical detail that I don't get and I cannot relate to.
That's all right.
But I want to support him in his content, so
Exactly.
I want to give him that view. I want to give him that like on the video.
Yeah.
Just to show that we're supporting him in what he's doing.
Well,
so
we give we give him the click, and then we tell you to go and watch what he's doing. And if you are a brewery out there and you want to get some sort of brewery content out there, and
Yes,
Adam can
he's
help
your guy,
you. Adam can help facilitate that. So reach out to Adam.
100%. On to the full recaps that we're going to do today. We only have 3 pieces of content, and it is a beautiful day right now.
Yeah.
It hasn't started raining yet. So we're going to try to get through this, not necessarily rushed, but a little quicker because we want to do a Dora walk.
We'd love to.
We want to do a Dora walk,
I mean,
and
if all the elements
play correctly.
yeah, we can do that. If not, we'll just stay here and have another beer.
Right, exactly. We're going to talk about a Barstool Perspective.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We're going to talk about another episode of Blake's Craft Beer Podcast.
Another one.
Another one. And we're going to talk about the weekly pint.
TWP.
Yeah, some guy that's not here right now because apparently he had to work or something.
Well, he said he needed to be somewhere.
Oh,
he didn't
that's
say
true.
it
He
was
didn't really
work.
say. He said he was busy and that he had to. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. He just didn't want to hang out with us.
It's quite possible.
I get it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, for those of you who know us, you get it.
You get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can be a lot sometimes. Yeah. Where do you?
I can be. Julia's just fine.
Where do you want to start off tonight?
I want to start with Blake.
Blake, all right. This was a Blake's Craft Beer Podcast episode 52. Two, right.
52.
Because we pushed back our recap of
That's right.
episode 50 to make sure that he could be here.
That's
and
right.
that it wasn't Kolsch night,
That's
so
right.
we weren't rushing for
And
him.
we mentioned it was
Yeah.
his 50th.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And he mentioned everybody that was on the podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's for anybody who wasn't listening.
So this is episode 52, Back to Wandering Monster. I'm sorry, back to Wandering Monster. He talked to Jason Brewer, and if you want to know when he first went to Wandering Monster, that is Blake's Craft Beer Podcast, episode 18.
Yep.
Which I believe was called the Miami Valley Craft Beer Podcast at that time.
I believe it was.
But now it's all under the Blake's Craft Beer Podcast.
Whoever was not in the Miami Valley.
Yeah. He tended to stray from the Miami Valley area a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I get that
That was
Cincinnati
to
is
evade
still there.
his potential
Conflict, conflict of interest, captors.
Yeah.
Oh, also a conflict of interest.
Also. Yeah.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if Blake saw Jason at the Ohio Craft Beer Association conference in Columbus, or if he just knew Jason was also there. But they started off the conversation by talking about the conference, and Jason did 2 presentations.
What it was is Blake was invited to the conference,
Right, and didn't
but he
bring
wasn't.
us.
He wasn't invited to watch the talk. He was invited to sit outside.
Oh, okay. So he
and
just had
so
to wait.
he's like, I know you did a talk.
Oh, but I wasn't allowed to be in the room
Tell
with
us.
you while you did the talk.
And then Jason's like, well, you can catch all the talks later.
Yes.
And Blake's like, yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. I was totally invited in, but I didn't. I was like, I'll just catch them later.
Yes, but they recorded this episode before that later happened,
Right.
so all the presentations weren't
Right.
yet available.
Right.
Yes. Jason talked about running a kitchen and capitalizing assets
Yeah.
in, again, 2 different panels. Both sounded absolutely riveting.
Did they?
Well, I did think it was very interesting that at a craft beer conference, one of the presentations was about running a kitchen, running food service, but that's what breweries are anymore. It's hospitality.
Yeah.
Like what
Well,
Jason,
that's why.
Right,
Yeah.
and what Jason said is, food is such a huge part of that brewing component anymore. People want to go somewhere where they can have food and not just a bag of chips, even though dicks are,
The best.
our lifeblood here at Higher Gravity.
Just put them in your mouth.
Absolutely. Just pop open that sack and just start shoving them in.
Yep.
It's amazing. But without a food program, without another reason for people to stay in your facility, in your building, in your seats, they're going to come in and it's going to be kind of a one and done. Okay, yeah, we'll have a pint here, but then we're going to leave to go to the restaurant that might just be next door. This episode was recorded late February because they talked about Wandering Monster's first Beer Fest, Confluence of Darkness, which at the time of recording had not happened yet.
Yes.
It took place on February 22nd, and tickets sold out in just over 24 hours, which is absolutely fantastic. And Blake posed the question, are smaller festivals and events like that the way for breweries to do things? Is it an easier way to do special events with less risk?
Right. And then Jason explained that the thing that sets theirs apart was the confluence and the darkness.
Yes.
That's the
You
difference.
didn't just have one.
No, you had
Yes.
both
yes.
of them.
And
Two of them together equal new experience.
Correct. And I do think that it was interesting how the darkness part of the festival was in the duck pins bowling section.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like glow duck pin bowling. It was just, and if you want to experience the darkness after you've had the confluence of these amazing barrel-aged collaboration
confluence
beers,
of the beers,
you just have to fling the little wooden ball and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you either hit someone else or you hit the pins.
And if you hit someone else, they're out and you get to stay in.
And they don't know that it was you because darkness. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of brilliant, actually.
Is absolutely brilliant.
I wonder how many people
But that's
were,
what Jason Brewer
were
is, right?
curious about having to sign waivers before they walked in. Like normally you give your ID. You get
No,
the
I mean
bracelet.
anybody will sign anything nowadays.
This is true. They don't
just
even
still
read it.
sign
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Jason read over his wish list of styles that he wishes the brewery could make more.
Yep.
Because a lot of it is, yeah, we can make some of the stuff that we want to make, but you still have to make stuff that's going to sell.
Right.
So it's a very, very, I don't want to call it a healthy balance, but it's definitely a balancing act that you have to figure out. And he really, really, really wants them to be able to make more Midwest fruit tarts at Wandering Monster.
Yeah.
Which I think, can other breweries make?
With lactose and vanilla.
Exactly. Can other breweries make Midwest fruit tarts? Does Urban have like a trademark or any kind of thing on
Well,
that?
they can try and find out.
That's true.
FAFO.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, let us know when you are going to FAFO, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll have Blake get down there and,
They are bringing something new to the food menu.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to say what they're bringing to the food menu, or are we just going to let people listen to the episode and find out? Because we don't want to tell you everything that's happening.
No.
Because the goal of what we do is we want to make you interested in
it
this
might or
episode
might
to
not
listen.
be gyros. But it might not,
Might not be.
Might not.
Might not be. Again, listening to find out. This was something that I thought was interesting that Jason talked about, considering that they do not distribute. Branding is more important than taste. People buy with their eyes, which I see where he's coming from, and I agree to a point.
I expected that answer from him.
But if you buy this really cool looking, this bottle or this can with this really awesome art, and you try it and it is trash, you're not buying it.
I wouldn't have any experience with that.
So does that one time, yes, you and me both. But does that one time buying experience, does the business, the company, do they care if you're not a repeat buyer of it, or they're like, we got the one sale, that's all we need? And again, would you prefer branding to be less? So if you as someone that is in the industry,
Yeah.
would you prefer the, I don't know, I guess which way do you, I don't say which way you lean, because I'm pretty sure I know, because you brewed beer, you were a brewer. Like it's
weird, right? So would you rather have would you rather be a one-hit wonder, or would you rather have, a catalog that stands the test of time?
Well, no, not even that. What I was trying to formulate the thought in my head, and I kind of didn't do it quick enough. You have, and I think the branding of both of these are brilliant in their own way. But let's say you have on shelves next to each other, you have Drecker, like ridiculous artwork all over all their cans.
Yeah.
Next to we'll just say it's the exact same style, West Side Brewing.
Yeah.
Very clean, very simple. Like the can, there was nothing overly shiny and fancy about West Side's branding. Would you prefer someone say, I want to pick my beer for tonight based off of the visual or based off of what I know about the quality of what's inside the can. I don't even know if you can.
Here's the thing for me. I think there was a time period where the flashiness of the packaging drew people to the product. I personally have been for a long time a person that would rather have a pretty simple, concise, clear package and then trust that what's in it is right down the middle, true to style, exactly what I expect.
Okay.
That's just sort of the way I've been for a long time.
Yeah. I like fun and fancy packaging, but I would prefer it to be as plain Jane as you can get if that means that what's inside of it.
The skeptic in me wonders, why do you need a caricature of Samuel L. Jackson on a can if your product is a great product?
Sure, yeah, and that's fair. But then, I mean, again, then you have other breweries, burials art, stuff like that. The beer is amazing. The art is ridiculous.
Doesn't match the art, though.
No. But, I mean, they kind of check both boxes. They have the quality of the product in the can, but then the outside is also fun to look at. So, I mean, look at the Imperial Bubbles it wasn't a 500 ml bottle, but the bottled bubbles that Ryan Geist did. Beautiful label.
Yeah.
Very simple, all things considered.
Yeah.
The packaging was amazing, and I'm assuming the product that was inside is as well. I didn't get a chance to grab a bottle before they disappeared, but yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Kind of already touched on almost all their beers are in bottles, but they don't plan on ever doing distro. They have no plans on trying to make a THC beverage because that's been a point of conversation in most of our episodes, so I figured I'd go ahead and toss that in here. But they are planning on making some gluten-free sours soon, which could be interesting.
Okay.
Which I didn't know. I don't know if sours are typically gluten-free. I know, again, ciders are, but yeah, if they have a way to do that, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then a lot of collaboration talk is kind of how the episode closed out, who they've already collaborated with, which is an incredibly extensive list. A lot of names
Oh,
there.
Definitely.
Who they would love to collab with in the future, and just doing things on their own, non-collab.
Yeah. That's sort of... That's been part of the identity of Wandering Monsters is trying to have great collaborations, which have waned in the past several years in craft beer, but they wanted to for that to be part of their business model, and I think they're doing a fine job with it.
I feel like they are the collaboration brewery in Cincinnati right now.
Yeah.
You still have plenty of other breweries that are doing collaborations, but not to the extent that Wandering Monsters has done so far. But hey, whatever
shows
keeps
a commitment to that process.
Well, and the networking and the with other breweries and all
definitely.
that, and just continuing to make sure that there is an incredible network of people kind of slowly being introduced.
I believe that the breweries that Wandering Monsters is collaborating with really sticks to the whole idea that they brew beer with the people they want to hang around with.
Absolutely.
And so these big breweries that they're collaborating with, they want to do it, and it's not a play in we want to really. We want to do a drop in the region, and who can we collaborate with? Right. And
they're not about name drops. We did a collaboration with this brewery, and just purely for the name. It's they make good beer, we make good beer, we like them, we like their beer. Let's do something together. Yeah,
I feel that's how it's going.
Yeah. Anything else on this episode? Episode 52 of Blake's Craft Beer Podcast, going back to Wandering Monster.
No, good audio quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I know as the episodes, depending on the number of guests, sometimes he has to bring out some of his older equipment, and so that can sometimes be a little bit of
picks up more background noise. Of
a thing where it picks up more background noise. This one's very
good,
easy to from a technical standpoint to listen to.
Absolutely. All right. I think we're probably pretty good to just go ahead and no breaks this episode. Unless you decide. No, you don't know?
Probably after the next one I want to take a break.
All right. Well, let's do a Barstool Perspective, because that's going to be a little bit of a shorter recap, I feel like. It was only 32 minutes long. This episode was live on February 28th. February 28th of 2025, and I'm titling it Pasta is Bullshit, which I think is going to be one of my new favorite phrases, even though I love pasta so much.
Pasta's great.
Carbs are life. Mike was
Did you see some of this new pasta they're coming out with that's made out of, what is it, chickpeas?
That's been around for a bit.
Well, and there's been pasta made out of corn, too. That's
okay.
not, that's gluten-free.
I've seen that. Okay, I don't think I've seen that. I've seen the chickpea stuff before.
Yeah.
But I've not seen the corn pasta.
Well, I don't go looking for alternative
Well, no, but just if
pasta
you're
ingredients.
Well, as you're walking down the pasta aisle at your, grocery store, you tend to notice, like, they tend to be like, now made with blah, and you're going, okay, did we really need that?
Yeah.
Mike was off gallivanting in New York City, so it was just Bret for this episode.
Do you think he stopped by the bull?
Absolutely.
Took a picture with his
nuts.
With his nuts.
Yeah, hopefully holding a bag of dicks too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Do Bret and Mike know about dicks? They have to.
They have to know.
They have to know about dicks.
They have to know.
Bret, Mike, let us know. Do you know about dicks? Do you like dicks? Are dicks available at Urban Artifact? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know that I looked last time I was there.
We could ask Bret or Mike, or we could ask Jason.
Jason, yeah. We'll have to find out. So Bret was on his own, which led to some absolutely amazing rants.
Yeah, it was a lot of rants.
Like, there were a lot of opinions, a lot of very strong opinions, and Bret pretty much said the reason that I am so worked up about all of these news stories today is because I'm not hungover.
Right.
But he also didn't have Mike to kind of play off of. So I think that it's a bit twofold. Still fantastic. Just because you're missing one of the two voices on that show does not make it any less entertaining or any less educational.
Right, because Bret just... he
just
uses his alter ego. Like it's like there's 2 or 3 different Brets behind the mic.
Mm-hmm. One's name has 2 T's. One only has a single T.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That didn't really hit as funny as I was hoping it might.
Just wait till the audience hears it.
This is true. Or the Patreon. I mean, maybe most people won't even know that this exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julia's terrible jokes. Outback Steakhouse. I will say, this episode felt a lot more food and non-alcohol related than a lot of the other episodes, which is fine.
I thought,
which is fine.
It's fine content.
It's all relevant, yeah. Outback Steakhouse is making some positive changes. They are going to be releasing a $15 3-course meal, which means it's going to be cheaper to eat at Outback than it is at McDonald's.
Or Mad Tree Parks and Rec.
The servings are huge, but yes, that is an expensive sandwich.
Yeah.
Yes.
$16.
Ouch.
Yeah. And then a $7 beer.
I think I'm just going to...
And a 20% tip.
I think I'm just going to go for the drink.
It's a $30 lunch.
For one person.
Yeah.
I could have probably...
It was a delicious sandwich.
I probably could have had something cheaper at Jeff Ruby's if I played my cards right.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I could have had, like, a tomato at Jeff Ruby's.
A whole one?
Half of one.
With cheese on top?
No. That's salt. Just some salt sprinkled on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cheese is extra.
Flaky salt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, finishing salt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't... What are you talking? Just, like, table salt? No.
Yeah, little iodized.
No.
Not that iodized salt. Get out of here with that.
Then we went into Bret's pasta rant, which, again, pasta is bullshit. And, oh, my God, like, I guess technically it was more sort of Olive Garden-esque, but the moment he said pasta is bullshit, I lost it. I was done.
Look, my kids like Olive Garden, all right?
It's fine.
It's fine.
There's nothing wrong. Is it true Italian? Is it the best fit? No, but it's fine. You know what I mean? If you have a gift card,
you need one, because what happens is when I leave and it's like $130 or $140 or whatever, I'm like,
see if there's some group
for 5 bowls of pasta and sauce.
The pasta cost them 5 cents, maybe. The sauce is probably the most expensive part of the dish.
And was made in the morning.
Yeah. That's not fresh Alfredo. You move from that to AI and alcohol, which that's going to be garbage. humans notice just as much as AI can. And some of the things that he talked about with this, which actually blends nicely into the Weekly Pint.
TWP.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah.
And no one else, because no one else is at the table tonight. But like AI predicting, the grape crop, or if things are going to be good or bad. It's like the people running the vineyards, the vintners. Am I getting that right? Do I know the right word? Sure, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
The vintners. They can tell based on the weather if the crop's going to be good or bad. You don't need AI to tell you about that. Like the distillers know when your spirit is good. You don't need AI to say, ooh, it's, this bourbon's been in these barrels for 18 months. It's probably going to be great now. No, these people who have been doing these jobs for millennia know what to do. You do not need
here's what
a
happens.
robot to tell you.
They taste the juice. They measure the pH, and they go from there.
But that's the thing. All AI is, it goes off of data that humans entered. So it's still human-derived information, just condensed into one big gloppy ball of wax that may or may not be accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think AI has its place in certain things, but I don't think it should ever be like the be-all, end-all. We are getting all of our information and driving all of our choices purely
absolutely.
because of it. Which,
Yeah,
again,
of course.
we'll kind of talk about a little more with the Weekly Pint, so I don't want to spend too much time on that.
Okay.
Let's see. There was a great story about the dangers of powdered caffeine.
Oh, that was a
Which,
great
oh
story.
my God.
Look, I'm not going to spoil this for you.
No, but definitely.
I did not know, as a brewer, I did not know this was a thing. Now, however, they are making different sort of drinks
Yeah,
in
yeah.
their contract arm of the business. So that was fascinating.
Which, when he started mentioning that, I'm like, oh God, this could end really badly. Because, like, pure caffeine, like the tiniest bit, your heart's just pops like a balloon. You know what I mean? It's just not good.
Let's do it right now.
No.
Okay.
No. And then he asked, does anyone actually like black coffee? Which, you like black coffee.
I really do.
I like some black coffee. Like, I'm still weaning myself off of cream, but there are some blends, some roasts of black coffee that I do enjoy. And I will say, if you're not sure that you like black coffee, or if you still haven't learned to like it, keep an eye out for Higher Gravity Summit Park's coffee cupping classes. I think they're going to do a couple more of those here and there, where you can taste 6 different local roasts and kind of learn about them. And
then all the
it was
slurping?
fantastic.
A lot of slurping?
A lot of slurping. That is the proper
Yeah.
way to taste your coffee.
Yeah.
Not recommended to do with beer, but
Right.
with your coffee, it is absolutely a thing. Last note I had on this episode before the sip count:
Ah, okay.
the decisiveness of the United States is no longer Bud and Bud Light. It's Mick Ultra and Busch. So Bud's never going to come back to where it was, is it? It's
No.
never going to like go away, but it's never going to be the powerhouse that it once was.
Nope.
Good.
No, it's gone.
Good.
It's gone from that caliber.
Correct.
It will
Again,
always...
it's always going to be here.
Always going to be around.
No, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Let someone else take the reins for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, or until the end of time. I don't care.
Right.
It's macro. It's whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Anything else on this episode of Barstool Perspective, which was such an energetic and just highly opinionated episode? Bret showed off his haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot
Yeah.
to mention that. Looking good.
Yeah.
Apparently he
Well, you
finally,
mentioned it.
I did, yeah. Apparently he finally decided to shower, and he was like, I need to show all the watchers on Friday that look what I look like when I am clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything
I
else?
just wonder now that he put the shower in a Friday into his routine, is it now going to be every Friday, or is it back to
I don't know.
not showering on Fridays?
That's a good question. Probably depends on his schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sip count was not great because, again, he had a lot of opinions.
Right.
And he didn't have anyone else to do the talking.
gotta run the show.
Yeah, he had to run the show. So, I mean, look at Gnome when he does Weekly Pint. How many sips does he take? Not all that many.
Not many.
So this one, Bret, I will give you a pass for because, again, you're running the show by yourself. I mean, not even producer Dan was willing to take some of the spotlight off of you. So that
You know what?
could
Who
enjoy
wants to
your
hear from Dan
beverage.
anyway?
You know what? He really didn't even comment in the comments section all that much. So,
Yeah.
so producer Dan, What the F?
What the F?
In this episode, this 32-minute episode, there were only 3 sips. 6
Okay.
6 ounces.
6 ounces,
I'm
all
not
right.
even doing the math because it's not even a pint. So
Yeah.
hopefully Bret finished that beer as soon as the cameras were off.
I'm sure he
was able
did.
to have a good afternoon.
I'm sure he did.
Oh, I'm sure he did too.
He
Sure.
finished it. He's like, this is warm. Let me get another one. And he's like, that one tastes so much better.
I would not put it past him.
Yeah.
All right. You said that you wanted to take a quick break before we got to the last show.
Yeah.
All right, so we will do that. Super fast break that you guys aren't even going to know anything about because I'm going to cut out the silences. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. We will be right
Right back.
Good freaking Lord. Oh, what? Is Gnome here now?
No.
With all the noise trying to come back from our break, I kind of
Yeah.
thought that maybe he had shown up and I just couldn't see him.
No, we should hurry up and get out of here before he
Yes.
shows up.
Yes, we really should. Also, again, we want to take a Dora walk and maybe even get our Q1 video taken care of.
Yeah.
Marco, you have a fresh beer. What you drinking?
I don't know. It's from what? Other half or half acre or acre and a half?
Half Acre, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the others
I don't know. It's
or
a
one
West
of the
Coast.
acres.
I don't know.
All right. Hey, you know what? It's all that matters, right? It's clear.
Dos acres.
Mostly clearish. Looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah. All right. We have one show to get through, and that is the weekly, let's do it, the weekly point.
The weekly brewcast.
The weekly brewcast of all things not necessarily Cincinnati.
Right. Cheers, Julia. Okay.
Let's see, episode 251, hanging out with our robot overlord bartender. We still had a schnappening,
A schnappening.
the schnappening, which was Nixta, I believe, which when he was talking about this, all I had in my head was that stupid-ass meme or whatever it was from years ago. It's corn!
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was a Shift Beer.
Yes.
Shift Beers did that a lot.
Yes.
Yes. And of course, Josh is in there. It's got the juice, and I'm like, oh my god! I thought that we had moved past all this. Unfortunately, Gnome brought it back. Essentially, it was Mexican moonshine.
Yeah.
The bottle looked freaking amazing.
Said elote.
Yes,
Yeah.
an elote, not liqueur, but yeah, I mean just Mexican moonshine.
Yeah.
Elote, Mexican moonshine of the bottled variety.
Of
I
the
don't know.
of the corn bottled variety. The bottle
was
looked
amazing.
like a cob of corn.
Yeah. What is it glass corn or something? The different colored corn that's normally decorative.
I don't know. The tricolor corn.
Yeah,
or,
it's whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter either way. He was not sure what to expect, and I don't know if a Frito-esque schnappening was on his bingo card, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Things happened the way that they happened, and you should definitely check out this 2-part Weekly Pint episode.
For Patreon.
No.
Did it go out to
because-
everybody?
No.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. He
yeah.
said, oh, hold on, let me fix this.
Yes.
And then the stream died.
It died, yeah.
And then he had to start a whole new stream.
Yes.
And then there was, for all the gnomings, free and up, he did go live after the Weekly Pint for the after show, which I'm old. I was tired. My head hurt. So I said, nope, I'll watch it after the fact. And I did.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it because, again, support the Gnome. Sign up even on the free level to be a Gnomie to watch this exclusive. Great conversation. He had a caller, and it was fantastic. I really thought that it was something that I never thought about when it comes to non-alcoholic beer and its distribution methods. Mm-hmm. But very, there aren't many places that I know that I would trust it.
No.
Very interesting.
No.
Yes. So again, everyone free tier on Gnome's Patreon and up can watch this. So thegnarlygnome.com/support. Going back to the Weekly Pint, another episode sponsored by your good friend and ours,
Dick's
Potato Chips, the best chips in the Cincinnati area and beyond.
Beyond.
What Jason needs to do is put up a map, or like maybe once a month or something on social media.
Jason, the founder of
Jason,
Dick's.
the founder of Dick's. Yes,
Not Jason
there are
from
a lot
Higher
of
Gravity.
yeah, there are a lot of Jasons. So Jason of Dick's, that like has like a little
Jason of the Clan Dix.
Yes. clandestine. I don't know. I have no idea what I did there.
Hey, man. Funny, he doesn't look Jewish.
But it would be cool to have like a map of the United States and like show like the states that dicks have made it into.
Where he's inserted dicks.
Exactly. Where has, like you said, where have dicks gotten into?
Yeah.
Because hopefully we can make this nationwide,
Yeah.
and then eventually dicks
Get
can take
bigger
over
penetration.
the world. 100%. You need that dick saturation going out to
That is also going all the way back to the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about like corporate terms,
Mm-hmm.
they really do call going into areas and taking over territory penetration.
penetration. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Believe it or not, we know what we're talking about sometimes.
sometimes.
Not often.
No.
Every now and then.
There's saturation
But hey,
too, but
but
there's
it's not as good as
penetration.
penetration,
Before
yeah.
the saturation is penetration.
Right. I don't know. Tone still thinks we're funny.
We'll
So we've
see.
got that going for us. at
We'll
least.
see.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
So after the Mexican moonshine schnappening,
Yeah.
he brought out his main drink, or rather, he brought out the 37 different bottles of booze and cocktail mixins
See-
that created his main beverage for the night. So, you have
much.
thoughts. You have thoughts.
So, well, I don't know if I want to give a lot of this away.
we can tell like the premise just because of the title of the episode.
Okay, so the Gnarly Gnome he has been cultivating and curating this AI sort of assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been working with massaging almost.
Yeah.
And trying to just work on the overall effectiveness of his assistant.
Correct.
And he used it to create a unique cocktail for the Weekly Pint experience last night.
Based off of, so he inputted into ChatGPT every single bottle of alcohol, liquor, bitters, accoutrement that he had at his bar.
Which, if you've ever seen his bar,
Holy
it's
crap,
a gargantuan task. However, he does a liquor inventory 3 times a week.
Yes, I mean you'd have to
You have to.
with everything that's going in and out and bottles being emptied and stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
you have to.
So he put everything into this AI engine and into this agent, and basically said, "Make me a cocktail."
Yeah.
And again, ChatGPT came back with like 37 bottles. I'm not going to go over everything that was in there, but I will say
So much.
some of the things that you need to figure out how this worked. There was a 2 absinthe rinse of the glass, which I think that we played a hand in some of that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
There was some, audience interaction.
There were some
as there
liberties
always is.
taken.
Yes.
However, the base cocktail did have an absinthe rinse as a component.
Correct. So he put this together in the exact quantities that ChatGPT said that he should. Prepared it the way. Well, no, it said to stir it, and he shook it.
Yeah.
That was the only deviation from the recipe. Which,
Right.
how else are you going to do that goofy ass grin when you're just stirring a cocktail?
Right.
You can't. And we know that he likes to smile.
I'm sure
at
he had a
his
bar
audience
spoon
members.
somewhere. He went off camera to go get all that liquor. He couldn't go off camera to go get a bar
He
spoon.
has just a random swizzle stick on his desk that he could have used.
Yeah.
The tip of one of the gnome hats, like one of the gnome statues, he could have just used that to just swirl it around.
Yeah.
That'll give him botulism for sure.
That should be in the gnome store.
Yes.
Which
a gnome swizzle
gnome,
stick?
and then his index finger pointing up to be a stir
To
stick.
stir it. Gnome, make it happen. Gnomies
Yeah.
can test it out first. But I'm in. I'm absolutely in. Did it turn out well, or did AI fail, as Bret and I'm assuming Mike are pretty sure was going to happen?
Tune in and find out.
There was a comment about can cocktails be too balanced? Can they be too safe? Can they be too simple? But then once AI kind of gave him, again, like the 37 different bottles of stuff, it's like, oh, Or is this going to go like the complete opposite end of the spectrum and just give me too much and make this way too over the top?
Yeah.
And then was it you that said how much would that cocktail cost at an actual bar?
No, that was somebody else that commented.
Okay. It's like,
who-
yeah, if you bought that at a bar, how much would that cost with all of the different ingredients? It's
The
like,
3-name guy that was in the chat.
yeah.
What'd you line up for free of?
Dicks.
Okay, there you go. You know what?
Well, I pay
So
for
would
dicks. I pay for my dicks, so
I
don't
do-
need,
I do as
but
well.
But if they were offering them for free somewhere, I'd be like, you know what? I'm standing
Julia,
in line for
we've
that.
had free dicks.
I know we have. So you know how it's like, what's the best beer? A free beer?
Yeah.
Are the best dicks free dicks?
I mean, they were pretty good.
It's hard. It's hard to argue with.
It is hard to
Yeah.
argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cut the
I
conversation.
gave some to Rachel to share.
Nice.
Yeah.
So she enjoys the whole family. Who doesn't enjoy dicks? That was another thing I asked in when Tone was doing his Let's Set the Tone live stream. You know, I asked in chat. I said, "So, what do the family think of dicks? Do they like them?" And there was a whole, this person in the family likes these dicks, and this person likes those dicks. And what's awesome is one of the family members is getting to be at the age where they're starting to get the joke.
Ah, okay.
Love it. From there, the conversation turned a bit to, does AI fit in a bar scenario? And I think that
Trying to pick your Keno numbers?
well, no. But I think that like it does as far as creating a beverage. You shouldn't. How did I phrase like my comment? It should not be relied on. It should not be. It should be used to enhance something, not
Yeah.
create something.
Yeah, and Gnome even went into talking about when we went and experienced Species X.
Yeah.
Which was a really cool concept.
That was awesome. Yeah.
It was a really cool concept. I can't say any of the beers knocked my socks off, but the concept was really cool, and they dug into the identity, which to me is so much about what we talk about. The place needs to know who they are. They need to lean into and just go all the way with what it is. But basically, Species X was a brewery that the brewer would brew beer, but they also used AI
to come up with a recipe.
come up with recipes, and they used AI. I don't even know what to call them. They're not creators, but they're AI. Not influencers, but they're like almost collaborative originators of AI content.
Yeah.
To work together to make these recipes, and it just was all in on the concept.
100%. Kind of going back to one of the last topics, Miller Coors. Are they tweaking the High Life recipe to have a longer shelf life? Why do you need a longer shelf life of your beer unless you're planning on not selling it to all of your accounts at as regular of a basis? Which kind of ties into the whole Heidelberg thing that we talked about last week. I don't know. It's the whole thing just feels kind of wrong.
I don't.
But I don't know.
I don't disagree that there are mechanical and scientific advances to where product that we make logically and reasonably has a longer freshness life than previously thought 15 or 20 years ago.
Sure.
However, who does that benefit and why?
Yes, that's a good, yeah.
Is what I would ask.
Yeah.
Now, if does it benefit the consumer who thinks the product's a great deal, or maybe it's a little bit tough to get, and they don't necessarily live so close. I don't know how close the gas stations are in Montana from the place where you live to get your stuff. Does it benefit you to have a longer shelf life?
Right.
I have to think this has to do with very selfish reasons. I'm very skeptical. I think it's very selfish reasons for the brewery itself.
I mean, could it be something to where the beer isn't selling at the same rate, so it has to stay either, not necessarily in the tanks, but with the brewery or at the distributor for longer before it gets to those end accounts?
Ding, 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 ding.
And
You're
therefore,
a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
So what it's about is, as they produce product, it stays in the warehouse longer, and so it's allowed or acceptable freshness is a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think.
Do you prefer seeing a canned on date or a best buy date on your beer?
I prefer seeing a canned on date, but if you give me a best buy date and I'm anywhere within a few months of it, I'm going to assume it's old.
You're okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, whenever I see like a best buy, I don't know when that was packaged. And it could be something that it's still fine to drink 6 months later, but it's not going to be that same quality that, the brewer wanted it to taste like.
Oh, they're telling you it is, though.
Oh, sure. I know that. I know that they are. Absolutely. They're telling you that. But I can't. I don't trust that. If that, you know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily.
I trust it completely not to give me food poisoning. What I don't trust it to be is at its peak of freshness.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. I think we're saying the same thing, just in different words.
Yes,
yeah. It was another absolutely fantastic weekly Pint episode. Again, it was a two-parter because of technical difficulties. And
well, he meant to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
He wanted to give you two parts.
Yeah.
And then for Patreon, he wanted to give you a third part.
Oh my goodness, you're getting all the parts.
Yeah.
So Gnome really did put out 3 shows this week. For all the naysayers that say he's not putting out content, do you have any other notes before the sniff and sip count and then our dialogue?
No, I think I need to wrap it up.
All right. He took 13 sniffs.
Okay.
And he took 11 sips.
I'll allow it.
That is 24 total countables.
Let's go, 48.
48 ounces. That is 3 pints.
Yeah.
For this slightly over an hour-ish episode.
Well, for anybody who's stuck around.
True. It was longer than that. But this was just for his 2-part weekly pint, because, again, I wasn't up for Patreon.
Yeah.
And I didn't count that because, again, it's not public-facing. Like, we'll mention it, but, again, you got to follow and support him
Julia
in order
had
to
to
get
go
that
into
content.
her cryo sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are we going to get another episode of The Mandalorian or another season of Mandalorian?
I don't think so.
No, it's over?
I don't know.
They just left it?
I don't know.
Like we're done?
I mean, they're spinning off like 13 other different Star Wars universe shows. So, I mean...
Is there going to be a Mace Windu show?
Who knows?
Him and his purple lightsaber?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Revan. I want a show on Darth Revan.
Who that
is? He was in the Knights of the Old Republic storyline, and it was one of the best books that I read. Drew Carpathian, I think is how you say his last name, wrote it. He basically had...
From the Carpathian Mountains?
Exactly. Carpathian Mountains. He basically had the idea that it is not just good and evil. It is not all Sith, all Jedi. There is a gray area. You need both. It is about...
Yeah, that's where I live.
It is about balance. Exactly. That's where most people live.
Yeah.
So I'm going, oh my God, I buy into this 100%. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice.
Was there anything else you wanted to bring up before we wrap this up?
No, if you like a place, go support them.
100%, and tip your bartenders.
Please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now more than ever. If you like what we did tonight, you know what to do. I'm not going to go into all the rigmarole with all that. You know. I like that. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Go to truthbeerpod.com. That is where you can find links to everything, including how to sign up for our Patreon account, where you will get unedited episodes of every single week of our show. You also get them a day early. The only thing that I cut out are the silences when we get more beers or have to pee, or we just decide, you know what, we need to take a break for whatever reason.
Free financial child care and healthcare advice that you shouldn't follow.
You absolutely should not follow any advice that either Marco or I give. And follow all of our friends, and all of our friends are the people that we talk about on our show. The Gnarly Gnome, Blake, Bruce Guy's
Some of us
Happy
are
Hour.
only friends.
Some of us are only friends. And
we should start a website called Only
Friends. You know what? That might be nice.
Yeah.
A nice, innocent, just be friends.
Yeah.
And be sure to follow out our friends from up north, from the Great Mitten Half-Ass Beer Review, for amazing beer review content, and the people that he associates with. Chris from Seven Dragons, Seven Dungeons, Seven Dragons. One of you guys will figure it out. And Tone from Banter and Babble, Let's Set the Tone, and that whole conglomeration of pop culture and geek goodness. I love it so very much. Other than that, we're going to take a Dora walk. So, Marco, what are you going to be doing next Tuesday?
This here with
Sounds
you.
good.
Cheers.
Cheers. I will see you there.
We didn't get a Caroline this week.